In 1998, Hugo Chavez was elected president of Venezuela in free and fair elections. At the time of Chavez's election, Venezuela was unique with its long history of democratic rule in a region known for bouts of authoritarianism. Despite this democratic tradition, Chavez implemented a number of policies after assuming the presidency in 1999 that reduced constraints on his rule. He curtailed the power of the opposition-led legislature, fiddled with presidential terms to extend his rule, and initiated a purge of the judiciary. Such actions polarized the Venezuelan electorate and intensified criticism of Chavez, culminating in a failed coup attempt in 2002. By 2004, the political opposition had galvanized a recall referendum, but Chavez won this vote, which was generally deemed free and fair, and he continued to consolidate power. By the end of that year, the quality of Venezuelan democracy began to deteriorate as Chavez leveraged his position of strength to attack his opponents. Those individuals who had supported the recall petition were dismissed from public jobs and lost their access to welfare benefits after the government made their names public. The Venezuelan government passed laws to intimidate the media, forced television outlets to broadcast Chavez's speeches, all while the government spearheaded a campaign to target and instill fear in those who opposed Chavez, who were now deemed to be anti-revolutionaries. By the time of the 2005 legislative elections, 5 opposition parties vowed to boycott them, citing fears of government intimidation and suspicions the race would be biased. To no one's surprise, Chavez's Fifth Republic movement, MVR, won a majority of seats in the contest, with smaller parties that were allied with it winning the rest. This all signaled the end of Venezuelan democracy in the eyes of most experts. The story of Venezuela's democratic decay and ultimate collapse has become a common one. The watchdog organization Freedom House, for example, documented 17 consecutive years of decline in political rights and civil liberties in its 2023 global report. While some of these declines have occurred in countries that were already autocratic, as in Belarus, the rest took place in democracies, reflecting either a weakening of democracy, as in El Salvador, or a movement from democracy to autocracy, as in Serbia. Importantly, many of today's democracies are decaying from within, as occurred in Venezuela under Chavez, with freely and fairly elected leaders leading the charge to dismantle their country's democratic institutions. Whereas in the past, democracies typically collapsed via force, through coups or other coerced seizures of power. Today, incumbent leaders are typically spearheading the drift to authoritarianism by pursuing grabs for power that ultimately deteriorate democracy and give way to dictatorship.